we have the current stock market update for Mara Holdings Incorporated, stock ticker MARA. Before we begin with today's chart analysis, if you find these educational materials to be helpful in your trading, please remember to click the like and subscribe buttons and leave your thoughts below in the comments section so that other traders will be able to find this information more easily on the platform. So as we can see here, this is the 2-hour price chart, a little bit of an unconventional price chart. Each candle on this time frame represents a 2-hour trading period. And as we can see here, none of the prior chart markings or trend lines have been changed here. And as we can see, what we were looking at previously was the possibility for a resistance zone that was beginning to develop right around $16.50. So that'd be this price area here. We can sort of mark this in here because this area has started to develop as a bit more of an important price zone here, and we will go over some of the reasons why I believe that to be the case. So, let me just get this icon here so we can see what we're doing. See what chart this is. So at the moment, what we can see here is that, the share price itself has started to bounce off of these prior lows, which came in right around $13.17. So this was a significant price low because this did break through the prior support zone, which came in right around 1637. So this negative break to the downside here was a negative event. But what we're starting to see here is some pressure that is being placed on the top side, which could actually be a bullish signal for a breakout here relatively soon. So, specifically what I want to point to, first will be this major downtrend movement, which occurred from these price highs at 2730. This would be roughly the price high from July 17, and then we'll extend those all the way to the lows, which came in at 1317, which would be the price low that was seen toward the end of August. So essentially, what we're looking at is this broader dominant price move here to the downside, and as we can see here. This current level of resistance that we're defining as $16.50 does match up fairly well in terms of the 23.6% Fibonacci retracement, which is this red zone here, the top of the red zone, and then also this 100-hour exponential moving average, which is the declining purple line here. So both of these areas are coming into contact with the same region, and this is really the reason that we were looking at this area in the prior video. So clearly at this point, this is an area that has been tested on 3 separate occasions. So 1, 2, 3. And we're starting to see some evidence here that we could be breaking through to the top side at the moment. This would be significant because this would then break through this Fibonacci zone, clearly break through that 100-period exponential moving average, and then probably set us on a course to move above the entire exponential moving average cluster as well. So we haven't quite seen the price move yet, so we don't want to get ahead of ourselves here, but the downside price movements here have been somewhat minimal. And currently what we're dealing with is a near-term support zone coming in right around 1497. So let's just draw on this line here. So this support zone here, just around the $15 mark, we will call this 1497. But as we can see here, the price movements to the downside have been more minimal and muted in severity. So, if we are able to break above this 1650 area, I do think that would be a fairly bullish breakout. You would be seeing a couple of technical signals that are broken at the same time. So it's that 23.6% fib zone, and also that 100-period exponential moving average would be breaking at that point, and also roughly a triple top resistance zone. You could possibly even call that a quadruple top resistance zone. Because we did see a bit of a spike high here and then another retest here. So, you could even make the argument that that's actually a quadruple resistance zone, in addition to being a Fibonacci level and an area of exponential moving average resistance. So, this is really shaping up here to be the area to watch at the moment, and it is looking like that prior assessment that we had for this price level was actually fairly accurate, because we are having some trouble here. But the price movements to the downside have not been extreme. So the way that this looks currently, if I had to take a guess here, the probability I would say does suggest that we will be seeing an upside price movement here through here relatively soon. Now, that does not assume that it will happen. We might fail there again. And then we might see a drastically important, resistance zone develop in that area if that were to occur. But if we look at the indicator reading, we can see that overall the negative momentum has been the dominant, price momentum direction that we've been seeing here. But currently, that trend is on the verge of breaking as well. So I do find it interesting that this momentum reading is on the verge of breaking, just as a major support, just as a major resistance zone is also on the verge of breaking. So, we could be looking for a signal in one of these areas here. If we do see, for example, the relative strength index move above this downtrend line here, that would then suggest that it would be more likely for us to see an upside break of this 1650 resistance zone. So, overall, my bias here would be that this area is probably going to break. I mean, we can't make the assumption that a price zone is going to break before it occurs, because we could just as easily see a failure here, and it would not be surprising. But the fact that the downside price movements have been so minimal does lead me to believe that an upside break is more likely. And then if we were to see that happen, the next level that you could watch to the top side would be this declining blue line here, which is the 200 period exponential moving average, which comes in right around 1720. And then from there, we would have to look at the 38.2% Fibonacci retracement zone, which comes in right around 1850. I do think that this area would be much more significant. And as you can see here, we did outline this in the prior video. The reason that this is so significant is because we saw this prior price failure here, right at this 38.2% fib zone, and this declining blue line, which is the 200 period exponential moving average. So what this did then was to create an area of historical resistance. So now what we're currently dealing with is no longer that EMA resistance. That blue line here has now fallen further to trade right around 1720. So we're not really dealing with that at this 1850 level anymore. But we do have this historical resistance zone and the Fibonacci resistance zone coming in right around the same area here. So I do think that, if we did see a break of 1650, I do think that should probably generate enough upside momentum to then break through this 200 period exponential moving average, and then at least force a retest of these prior highs right around 1850. And then we'll have to see if the Fibonacci resistance zone holds at that point. So here's the current stock market update for Mara Holdings Incorporated, stock ticker MARRA. Our high value trading strategies membership is currently available for a limited time for only $9.99 per month. These high conviction investment strategies are characterized by superior risk to reward metrics that target massive market beating returns over time. Join now to outperform the market. Lock in this special introductory rate of just $9.99 per month for the entire lifetime of your membership, and start trading stocks with the pros.